So if you don't know how to create a Next app, make sure that you watch my video in the playlist. Just use npx create Next app at latest. So inside this working directory, I'm collapsing this menu. So now I'm going to minimize this one, then delete this boiler text that we have got inside our page TSX. So we are now inside this page TSX. I'm just going to paste in some. I'm going to have a text called Next.js weather app. Okay, there you can see now the text on the right side of my screen. It is now appearing Next.js weather app. So now I'm going to go into OpenWeatherMap.org. So this is a website that we are going to get our API from. So if you don't have an account, make sure that you sign in and create an account. Choose the option create an account, then make sure that you fill in your right details and click on not robot. So you can see now I've got this API that I've collected. So for the API, we're going to say const API key, then we are going to paste the key that we collected from weatherapp.org. Then we are going to have a base. So this is api.openweather.map.org/data/2.5. So now I'm going to delete this test that I had on Next at the app, and I start coding there. And let me start off by a comment. So I'm going to have a comment that will say header. So for that, I'm going to use h1 tags. So now inside our let's have Next.js with the app. This is the text that we have. Then let me create another second. You can see that the text has changed. Okay, now we wrapped inside h1 tags. So now I'm going to have a second. Let's have comment our search box input button. So we'll start off with a div. Then let's have an input tags. For the input tags, I'm going to have type text. Then place order, enter city or town. Then let's have a button below the input tags. Then let's have search text. That you can see now on the right side of the screen, you can see that how my design is coming out. Now let's come inside and let's comment out this one. If weather is undefined, then let's have a div. For this div, I'm going to have, and let me comment out. For location, I'm going to have paragraph text. So we're going to repeat. For example, I'll just save London, UK. Then let's have second comment. This one is the temperature Celsius. So I'm going to use paragraph text here. Then I'm just going to put in some text, 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, there you can see it's my web browser is updated. Now I'm going to have a condition sunny. Then I'm going to have text code inside paragraph text, partially sunny inside paragraph text as well. They can see that. You can see that I've updated. So now I'm going to put in some declarations for const. I'm going to make use of const search and set search equals to use state. Don't worry about the red underline. There is an error. We will solve this one shortly. Then I'm going to have a second const weather set weather is equals to use state. So now you can see that how to resolve this error. I'm going to go right at the top of the page and say import use state from React. This will remove our error, but you can see that I'm now being advised that I have to use client. So now I'm just going to go on to the top of the page and let's add use client. Copy this use client and just copy it and come inside your Visual Studio Code and edit this one. But I need a comma with a semicolon and like this one. So this will solve the issue. Now for the input text, I'm going to have an on click is equals to set search e.target.value. Then I'm also going to have a button. I'm going to also set an on click event. On click equals to search pressed. So this but you can now see that search pressed is recording an error. So that means we need to make a declaration. This is a search button. If pressed, just a comment out that I'm adding there. Now I'm going to say const search pressed. If it is clicked, we are going to have a function that will say fetch an API that we declared, like as you can see on line 6, dot base weather optional queue dash search units is equals to matrix API dot key on line 6. So this one will search our API in the key or using the values on line 6 that we have declared there at the top. Const API dot, then it will collect a JSON file, then dot, then result is equal to set weather dot app dot result. Sorry, set weather that we have got set weather from line from at the top there that we declare. So I'm going to change this one from London to, we're going to make it weather name, weather dot name. So this is will be the, so weather dot name will be the data that is collected from the web page, from the API whenever I'm clicking on search. So then we get up from the paragraph we're going to say weather dot main dot temp, weather dot main dot array of 0, and weather dot map array 0 for main and description. So you might be wondering where are these values coming from. Let me show you. When inspecting on inspect, you can see on set weather. Let me go backwards and say console.log. I want to show you what happens when I press console.log result. I want to show you what happens when I do a searching, and let me just like return to where it was before, and by just removing these ones. Let me just delete it, and also come here and make sure that in deleting I'm making sure that I don't have an error that is displaying on my web page. Okay, let's reload our web page. They can see there's no error in my Visual Studio Code. That's why when I just removed everything. So now I'm going to show you where we are getting our dot weather dot main weather dot temperature. But let me just put a simple text New York, and then I will search. Remember, I'm clicking on the button dot search bar. That's I'm calling on the on that event on clicking. So on clicking the button, set pressed is clicked, and this is the result that it pulls out. It pulls out a main. There you can see where I'm getting my main dot name, as well as the humidity, the temperature. So this is where you are getting our JSON information from. Now I'm returning the code that I deleted before. So now this is the weather dot main dot temperature and weather dot main. So this is what this. So now remember, we don't need a console.log. Now I'm going to set pressed. Remember, is this will be our resultant of whenever we click the button. Don't worry about the underlining, the underlinings that are reporting errors there. So now I'm going to make sure that you can see that I'm returning an error undefined error. We're going to say in type of weather.main is identical to undefined. It will trigger this optional. So let's set everything to true and not false. So drag this one, this div that below, and make sure that you minimize and drag it smartly there. And there it is, I've dragged it. So now I'm just going to put some proper spacing so that everything is perfectly there, or like this. And they can see, so you can see that's how you remove the undefined error. It's still there, but it won't affect our results. So now what we're going to do, another sample of data. Let's have Mexico City. And then we search, we click on the button search. They can see the resultant, the weather is clear and a clear sky. There you get. Now let me have Paris. You can see that this change, the contents of the paragraph and the H1 text are changing. So that's how you complete this challenge. If you like my tutorial, make sure that you subscribe and press on the notification bell. Thank you.